I think it all comes down to the individual, right? And the thing that comes with the risk management is you're trying to make trading as least stressful as possible, right? You're trying to manage your emotions while you're trading. And if you keep your risk management in place, then that kind of keeps the emotional side of trading at bay, right? Now from there, you're going to be a better trader because the emotions have been taken care of by proper risk management.
Welcome everybody to another funded trader of Tradethepool. Today, Alex is with me. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. Alex been with us for a while now, so that's gonna be amazing to hear what Alex got to say about the journey in Tradethepool and also about his trading in general. So stick to it. And let's start with that. You know, Alex, you tried few attempts of passing the evaluation, failed some of them. What got you into the point when you found success, right?
Well, so I started trading it was right around COVID when COVID started. So a couple of years ago. And I had traditionally been a long bias trader trading breakouts. And for whatever reason, when I started doing these challenges, I thought I'll try short selling. And so basically for the past year, I've been refining my short selling strategy. And I don't know if that was a smart thing to do or not, but here I am today. I've passed. And yeah, it's been a process of refining and figuring out what works for me.
First of all, I love that, you know, you kept pushing it, right? And didn't give up.
Yeah.
This shows, you know, I always say that in the interviews, most guys will take them 2 and 3 attempts to pass the evaluation. And you had a little bit more than that. And
a lot more.
Or a lot more, yeah. And you continue to do that. That's incredible to see, like your personality showed, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not giving up. You know what you're aiming for. You know what's the goal, what you're trying to reach, and you did that eventually. So that's really incredible. And you already have your funded account, and you're up like I'm just watching it now, $600. So
yeah,
so that's great. For those of you not familiar, Alex traded the limited edition mini buying power, which means he had $20,000 of buying power to trade with his own unique style, no PDT rule. So if you're in the States, you can definitely trade with us, real shares, no CFDs. So Alex, you said about shifting from breakouts to short selling, right?
Yeah.
What got you to that point?
There are lots of short selling strategies out there, and I would see them playing out on the charts. And with my broker that I use for my personal trading, it's not the easiest to short with. A lot of times you can't get shares, and with you guys, you can always get the shares, right? So that makes short selling with Tradethepool a lot easier. And so, you know, with all the opportunities that I was seeing, I was like, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to try to learn to be a short seller. And to be honest with you, I think it fits maybe my personality better. Of course, I still have long setups. You know, if it's there, I'll take it. But yeah, since I've been doing the evaluation accounts, it's primarily been short selling.
Yeah. And do you see that it's actually working better for you compared to the breakouts, for example?
I would say yes, because in the 1 year that I've been going at the short selling, I'd say the progress has come a lot quicker than on the long side and trying to trade the breakouts. Mind you, I was fresh. I was a total rookie when I started trading the breakouts, but I just feel a lot more comfortable actually on the short side.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I can relate to that. I'm not trading penny stocks, but short selling is like, once you get it, it's much more easier, I guess, compared to finding the long side.
It feels like that. It feels like that. Yeah.
Amazing. So just before I'll show the guys at home your dashboard and the stats and the trades that you made, let's talk a little bit about crafting that short selling strategy, right?
Sure.
What is it that you find or looking for whenever you trade, getting into a trade?
Okay, so I'm trading primarily a small cap. A lot of the times they might have a small float, and when I'm trading those, one of the things I like to look for is a first red day pattern. So I like to see multiple green days typically more than 3. You know, if you get into 4 or 5 green days in a row and the stock is up 100, 200, maybe even more % over those days, then I'm watching for the first red day, right? And then as as confirmation comes in that that's going to be a red day, then I can start scaling in, and you can usually get a pretty good risk to reward off of that. And if you could swing into the next day, that'd be great. But I know, with Trade the Pool, you have that closeout the 10 minutes before. So sometimes it's hard to continue swinging that initial position. But if you can get in at a good price, maybe in after hours, then you can go for a second red day.
Yeah, that was my actually my second question here, because you said it, you're basically day trading it, right? But you also like to hold it overnight in most cases.
That's, you know what, I've had success swinging, and I've had, I had a big loss in the funded account because I swung too large of a position overnight, and I immediately my trading for the day was shut off because it hit the max loss. And actually that stock ended up doing exactly what I thought it would do just a day later. So I think going forward, if I'm going to be swinging, I've really got to size down.
Yeah.
Especially with the low float, right? The low float stocks, because you can get dinged.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen and show the guys that own the dashboard. For those of you not familiar with it, basically each trader gets his own dashboard, and you can see your progress and, of course, the stats and everything around it. So let's first look at your evaluation account, which is this one. So basically this is the dashboard, super intuitive as well. So you got the profit target. This is what you need to make in order to pass the evaluation. You have a max loss, in this case, 12 of the limited mini buying power. It's $900, 300 for a day as a daily pause, meaning you stop for a day and you can continue the next day. Very nice chart, Alex. You started kind of rusty, and then you found your rhythm here. We'll talk about that in a second. Best trade, best day, risk reward, and success rate. You made 40 trades. We need at least 10, but you made 40. And as you said, most of them are penny stocks, except for maybe drug, which is also, it's not a penny stock, but also like a crazy mover, right?
Yeah, it started as a low price stock and then took off.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the chart. Do you remember what happened here in this case?
Initial dip, that might have actually been a swing overnight. That could have been a swing that went wrong, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, it was just a poorly executed trade. I might have sized in too much.
Yeah.
On that trade. That's very possible too.
I got it. Yeah. So interesting to see what's your strategy about, scaling in or sizing. How do you do that?
That's another thing that I've been working on too, because initially when I started trading, I would not size in, but I found that it really helps with the risk, right? And the whole game of trading revolves around managing your risk. And so it gives you the chance to you can get out with a small loss if the trade starts working against you, or it gives you the chance to size in a trade that is going your way. I'm still not very good at scaling in, but I'm definitely getting better, and it's what helped me pass the evaluation account.
So do you have like rules maybe, or like set of rules that saying, okay, I have an A+ setup, I'm going to risk ISK for A+ and scale in, or how do you choose when to?
I guess it depends. If it's an A+ setup, I'd be more comfortable with, maybe getting into the trade full size in two or three separate orders, right? Scaling in. Whereas on the other side of things, maybe it might be like 4, I might be scaling in 4 times or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And what about exiting the trade? Do you have any system for that, or it's also?
Once you're at like a 2-to-1 risk on the trade, I think it's a good idea to start taking some off, right? If your profit is at 2 times what you're willing to risk, it's probably a good idea to take some off. Generally, if I want to leave something, I might leave a third. Yeah.
That's also an interesting point because a few, I think like 2 years ago, I did a webinar talking about systematic trader compared to discretionary, right? And it's interesting to see that a lot of the guys doing discretionary instead of systematic, and also like what you're saying is very discretionary. So it's kind of hard when you start. For example, someone that listening right now and he's just started, right, a month, 2 months in his trading career or journey, and he needs to decide how he's going to operate. He's going to build a system for it, specific one, or actually make decision. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it all comes down to the individual, right? Like, and the thing that comes with the risk management is you're trying to make trading as least stressful as possible, right? You're trying to manage your emotions while you're trading. And if you keep your risk management in place, then that kind of keeps the emotional side of trading at bay, right? Now from there, you're going to be a better trader because the emotions have been taken care of by proper risk management.
Got it. And maybe lastly, I'm going to have a look on your dashboard of the funded account.
Sure.
There are two things here that I want to cover. One, I'll show it in a sec. Okay, this is it. So that's your funded account. That's actually from here you can basically withdraw once you reach the goal.
Yeah.
And a few things that interesting to see and to ask you about. One, do you feel difference from trading the evaluation to the funded?
It actually kind of feels like a breath of fresh air, right? Because for so long you're trying to get to the funded account, and it seems like this hill that there's lots of times I was really close. I was really close to passing, and then a couple bad trades, lose momentum, and then now I got to restart again. So now that I'm in the funded account, I'm not under a time restraint, right? So I can just take things at my own pace and it doesn't matter. And like I said, it's like a breath of fresh air because I've already done, the hard part was getting to the funded account and passing the evaluation account. And I've done that. And so I know that if I just keep doing what I did to pass, then there's no reason why I shouldn't find success, right?
Amazing. And you can't ignore, the fact that you had a drop here. Yeah. That's probably what you meant.
That was the swing. That was the big swing and you know what is really crappy about that is that I was actually up. I was up about $230 on that swing in after hours, and I didn't take it. I should have taken it because now if I would have done that, then my chart would be at the top right now. I'd be at the high. But it's a lesson, and I gotta learn from it.
Yeah, always something to learn from, right?
Yeah.
And I guess lastly, as you said, you already saw some videos about like interviews that I did with other funded traders. I'm guessing you saw Arbnor video as well. Like last week, he took another $50,000 payout, and that was great. He's a great trader, a small cap trader as well.
Yeah.
And one of his best tips was actually building that cushion, right?
Yes, that's right.
That buffer before you risking too much, you're actually working on building a buffer. Is it something that you're always also trying to apply? Do you think of that when you're trading?
Absolutely. So actually, I did watch that interview, and I kept that in the back of my mind. And a lot of the initial trades that I was making, they weren't anything substantial, but they started to add up. They gave me that cushion, right? And I had that big drawdown, but I was still green because I gave myself that cushion earlier on. So I would recommend to anybody who does make it to the funded account to give yourself that cushion. Start small, get a bunch of small wins, and give yourself that cushion, and it takes a little bit of the pressure off.
Amazing. So I guess just before we wrap it out, anything you want to say maybe about Trade the Pool?
Trade the Pool has been great. Trade the Pool has been a real blessing because for a lot of people who are trading, raising the capital to make meaningful profits is hard. And I have a full-time job. I have got a wife and I've got 3 kids. So my priority is to always make sure that I'm taking care of them, right? So for me to take a chunk of money and to try and trade it when I'm figuring things out, that might not be the wisest thing to do. But with Trade the Pool, that pressure is off, right? If I lose, I'm okay. I'm still in the game, and I can just get back into it and try again.
Amazing, Alex. Thanks so much for everything. And guys that want to check us out, go to tradethepool.com. I appreciate it, Alex, of course, and best of luck. Hopefully we will do another interview once you get your payout.
Sure, sounds good.
All righty, thanks.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, bye.